Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. I guess the day's over with now. It's about 8 o'clock at night. It's December 30th. It's a Monday. I'm just around the Madison, Wisconsin area, and it is snowing, and it's cold out, and it's really windy. That's actually why I shut down. I was cruising along. The roads are starting to get a little messy out, but the wind was kicking. It was like 25-mile-an-hour wind. I'm just like, what's the point, you know? I got to drop and hook loads, so why run into that wind like that and kill my fuel economy? Get up and do it in the morning. Hopefully the wind will die down. Maybe they'll clean up some of the snow on the road, get it all de-iced by in the morning, and I'll be back to running dry roads. So what I've been doing since the last video, that's what I'm going to update you on right now. So I run a load. Okay, went home for Christmas, left out, grabbed a load in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area going over to Ohio. It was a live load. It's contract freight, live load in St. Paul area, drop and hook over in Ohio. I love those runs. They're a little on the heavy side. They're typically like 38, 40,000 pounds. I don't know, maybe I'm getting spoiled. I have been running quite a few light loads, so, you know, I like them light, even in the winter. I don't care. So it was pretty heavy, 39,000 pounds. 22 miles deadhead on that, 588 loaded on it. Not a bad ratio there. I like to keep them in that ratio. 5% or less is really the best place to be. It's contract freight, so it paid kind of meh, you know. Probably like $2 a mile. You take discount out of it, you know. Nothing to write home about. But it was drop and hook on the other end, which always makes it easy. 24/7 facility. You just run it in there, drop it, boom, you're out. And they accept any time of night. I got there like midnight. Took my 10-hour break there. They don't care if you break there or not. Thought I was going to get a store load out of there. Did not get a store load out of there. I was a little surprised by that, but is what it is. And I don't know if the holidays had something to do with that, or it being I'm not sure why it didn't come out of there. I think that was Friday night. So got up Saturday, ran over to, didn't get the store load, but apparently the mail was paying good, so we went over to Warsaw, Indiana, picked up a load of mail out of there. Coming back up to St. Paul, had to stop off in Milwaukee. That went really smooth, picked up the load, ran it up to Milwaukee, spent the night there, got up Sunday morning, did my Sunday morning delivery in Milwaukee. It was it was kind of a mediocre load. Like, I think it was like 32,000 pounds, 30,000 pounds, something like that. It's the mail. It's typically not that heavy, but I guess they got efficient and really packed it in there on that one. The next run was 2 stops at the same facility in St. Paul. It was building 1, building 2. Man, what a catastrophe happened up there. So I watched them load it. They put building 1 in first. And when you say building 1 and building 2, it's the front side and the back side. It's all the same building. There's only one building there. So I go in there, tell the guy, hey, I'm here to unload at building 1. He proceeds to tell me that you got to go to building 2 first. I said, I watched them load it. I know building 1 is on there next. So if I go around back, it's going to be a waste of time. And he says, no, it's not a waste of time. I do this every day. You got to go around back first. So he says 9.5 out of 10 trucks go around back first. I said, well, I'm the 1 in 20 that doesn't. And he goes, what are you talking about, 1 in 20? And at that point, I realized I was talking to a member of the Dumas family. And so I went around back. I sat around there 45 minutes in the door. Guy comes over. He scans it. He goes, this ain't my stuff. This is building one stuff. You got to go back around, get unloaded there, then come back. Hello, I already knew this. I went into building one and told the guy, I said, well, that was a waste of time. He proceeds to go off on me. I guess it's because I was interrupting their football game. I've never seen a place where they let the office staff and the, operations people sit around and watch big screen TVs. Like, literally in the office of this sort facility, there's like a 60-inch TV that they watch football on, and they watch TV on, like, while they're working. It's like a huge distraction. But anyway, I guess I interrupted his football game. He wasn't happy about it. He went off on me and then told me to calm down. I hadn't even said anything to him other than it was a waste of time. And then I tried to explain some simple math to him, and he wasn't hearing none of that. So what normally, and I've been to that facility before, what normally takes about an hour to get unloaded took over 3 hours, because, Captain Dumas was working the front desk that day. I just don't get places like that. There's no wonder to me why the post office is as inefficient as it is. I guess that's why FedEx is taking over a lot of the postal deliveries for them. But anyway, finally got unloaded there. They wasted my whole afternoon there. After I was there for about 2 hours, I had another load scheduled out of the Minneapolis area. And, luckily someone was there on Sunday in the office, and they were like, hey, are you going to be able to make that pickup? And I said, probably not, because I'm getting jacked around over here at the post office. And so they had somebody go load it for me, which, that's the benefit of, not being, solo, having a little bit of a support staff around, So another driver, they paid him to go load it and bring it to the yard and drop it, and I just picked it up off the yard. I was pretty ill by the time I left the post office because, the place where you get that loaded, they usually take about 30 minutes to load over at, my next pickup. And, so, I wasn't too mad he went and got it loaded, but I like to see how things are loaded because it is kind of a heavier load you're getting out of there. But I didn't take the load to the final drop, so I was just taking the load from our yard to Chicago to switch trailers with a guy there because he was using that load to get home. So really, I was just relaying it with another guy trying to get him to his home time. And, with all the delays, it ticks me off, like I was talking to the guy. We swapped numbers, was trying to get down there because he was going to be in Chicago first thing in the morning. And I know how it is when you want home time and you're planning on home time and then, you're waiting on a trailer. It's annoying, but got it picked up off the yard, ran it about halfway Sunday night, last night. Got up this morning, ran it down, traded trailers out with him. I was sitting in Chicago. We've got a ton of contract stuff in Chicago, but, it's a snowy Monday morning, and, they were just, to be honest with you, dispatch was taking a while to get to me. I called them, I checked in with them, I told them, hey, I've swapped trailers, I'm done. I said, I'm going to look on the load board for some stuff. It's a snow, it's bad weather, and when it's bad weather, rates typically get better. If you're willing to deal with the bad weather, you can make some extra money. So I got on the board, I was looking at some stuff. Typically how I do it here is I will contact the broker myself, and then if it's a broker, I kind of know the brokers we work with and that work with the carrier. So I found something, wasn't sure about it. I called the broker. It was like a 50-mile load that was paying, it was like 52, 53 miles. It's paying $300. Live load, live unload for me. But I said, hey, that is great money. And also, it was going to an area where I know we got a distribution center that we pull out of like 40 miles away. And honestly, I figured that's where I was going next anyway. So, why not take $300 while they goof around, and get all the logistics worked out with the customer on the distribution center loads. And it was a unique load though. When I called the broker, he said, well, it's already late. It was supposed to be there tomorrow, or supposed to be there yesterday on Sunday. Somebody fell out on them. They needed it delivered ASAP. I said, well, hey, I'm the guy. Now, he had it listed as van reefer. So, I was like, hey, I got a 53-foot dry van. And he was like, is it food grade? I was like, it's food grade. I'll sweep it out. It'll be good to go. I get there, and it's a cold storage. Kind of got me wondering. I'm like, I don't know about everybody there's got a reefer trailer. I almost felt naked. I was like, I go in, I check in. I tell them, I don't want any kind of miscommunication. I tell them right off the bat, hey, I got a van trailer. And the guy said, yeah, it's fine. It's going 50 miles in the winter. We load these on vans sometimes. It was 44,000 pounds of beef patties going to a fast food place. I was just like, all right, y'all load them on van, I don't care, it ain't, I've let everybody know it's van, so it's not on me at that point. So they loaded up, run down, 54, it was between 50 and 60 miles. I don't remember exactly what it was. So, I had to pay a few tolls out of that. The way it works here, if it's contract freight, it's the tolls are paid. If it's something I book off a load board, I pay the tolls. So, not a bad setup. The only thing is, if I pull off a load board, I gotta calculate in those discount or percentage. They don't charge me to use their trailer if I'm pulling one of their trailers on a load board. It just, basically I got to pay the percentage I always pay anyway, and I got to pay the tolls. And they do, if it's quick pay or whatever, they pay it out on Friday. It's they just calculate it like it's one of their loads. But anyway, I get to the cold storage, get it delivered, go check in. It's late, obviously. $200 late fee for being 20 hours, 22 hours late. So, $9 an hour for every hour that thing was late. Not the quickest unload. I was a work-in, obviously. You know how food distribution places work. You're a work-in if you're late, and boy, they are in no rush to get to you. All in all, not bad though. Pretty quick load. I would say it took them about an hour to load it from the time I got there. They were trying to get it out of there. Ran it down, took about an hour to run it down, took about 3 hours. I was there at that facility for about 3 hours. Broker cut the check for the $200 late fee. They were really quick about that. I was impressed. Definitely told the broker would like to work with them again, especially on stuff like that, because that's not a bad gig, running 50 something miles for $300. Nice little tie-in for the day. By the time I got that done, literally as I was pulling out of the dock door to close the doors back up, I get a call from dispatch wanting to know if I want a preloaded trailer out of the distribution center that's 40 miles away, coming back to Minnesota, dropping hook on both ends. I said, yes, I will take one of those. That's what I'm pulling right now. Gravy load. Love pulling out of that facility. They always got your stuff ready to go. They got their ducks in a row. It is a well-run place. I pulled in, I dropped the trailer, slide the tandems back on the drop trailer. Literally 3 spots down from where I dropped that trailer is my loaded trailer. I hooked to it. The axles are already moved up. They got a scale on site. I didn't realize this. I've picked up there before, and I always scale my loads, but The yard guy was telling me after they pull a loaded trailer from the door, they slide the axles back up, typically to like the 41-foot mark, and they scale the trailer to make sure it's not overweight. So typically if you're, and these loads are light, like the one I got's 18,100 pounds. So if the trailer's legal, I mean, it's going to be pretty tough to make it illegal with 18,000 pounds on there. But as long as it's legal at the 41-foot mark, that's where they run it. So from now on, I'm not even going to scale the load if it's that light. Like it's not needed. They've already verified it's legal on the trailer, and if it's under 20,000 pounds, if it's legal on the trailer, it's legal on the truck. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to sit down and do the math on that real quick, but I'm pretty sure you can't screw that up. Like, I don't know. As long as you're legal as far as like kingpin to center of axle for the state you're going to be running in, I think you're going to be okay on that. I think I'll do all right just not scaling them in the future. So I ran that up. Like I said, the road started getting a little iffy. The wind was really iffy, so I was like, I'm just going to pull it off. Went to pull into the truck stop here, actually, and the front tires wouldn't turn, so we're getting a nice little icing going on the road right now. Hopefully they get that taken care of. I'm not in a super rush on this in the morning. I'm going to wait and let them work the roads a little bit, let it warm up a little bit before I hit the road. Not trying to, rush into an accident. So we'll make it happen in the morning. We'll get it up there, drop it. I haven't even talked to him about what we're doing out of there tomorrow. I don't know. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow, so I don't know. I'm more of a let's run and make money than go out and blow money. But sometimes you got to do things that make everybody happy, But that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Hopefully we get a good run out of there. I'm hoping for something, back to better weather. Kind of been dodging it. Been a little lucky. For the most part on this last storm, I dodged a lot of that. Got out in front of it this morning. But it's like this storm that is affecting us right now up here is ridiculous. It just keeps doubling back on itself. Like, I think this is the second, maybe the third time this storm has caused snow. It literally went up into Canada and came back down on us. Like, like it jumped off the top rope. And, it hit North Dakota and South Dakota pretty hard yesterday. A lot of freeways closed up there. Luckily, I got in to St. Paul and got out far enough that I really didn't get any of it this morning. And I guess I'm getting a little bit of it now, but hopefully by in the morning it'll be all good. We'll be back to green flag racing on dry roads, hopefully. I'm going to hop off here now, everybody. Hope everybody's enjoyed the video. Please share, like, and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Take care of each other out there. Later.